You're sorry? You accuse me of murdering our friend, and all you have to say is you're sorry? Where do you think you're going? Did I say we were finished? Damn it! Look what you went and made me do. If you had just listened, you would never have fallen. Fuck! God. Girls like you never like making things easy for me. Although, getting you from here to my car may get dicey. Deep breaths, Noah. This is why you've been training for so long. Just get her up, get her back up here, and that's half the battle. Aww, look at you trying to fight to stay conscious. Let me help you with that. There we are. A nice sedative to get you off to dreamland, my love. You are my love. But you already know that, don't you? I can see it in your face. The realization that you're mine now. There's no need to be afraid, sweet girl. Know that I will take very good care of you, and hopefully in time, you'll understand that it was always meant to be me. We were made for one another, you and I. Now it's my job to help you see it. Now, to get you to the car. Well, good morning to you too, sunshine. Let's say we get you inside, shall we? I know you can't answer me because of the gag, but I'm going to pretend you didn't just mutter what I think you did. If you want to cast me as your villain and call me a bitch, that is absolutely fine with me. I suppose me trusting you to walk inside without giving me hell is out of the question? Now, there's no need for this big display. Particularly not on my account. Besides, nobody can hear you all the way out here. But just to be cautious, which I firmly believe the right level of caution is the key to success. There, my love. Just needed to re-up your sedative long enough to get you inside and comfortable. Otherwise, we would have had to struggle, and I don't want to fight with you anymore today. Especially not if it means leaving even a single mark on your perfect body. Off to dreamland for you, my shining star. God damn it, Noah. Why do you have to be so impulsive? First, knocking her down the hill, now a second sedation, which limits any further sedations when I could have tried to be more verbally persuasive. Took all those fucking psychology and criminology courses only for passion and impulse to threaten the longevity and security of this entire thing. That's it. No more fuck-ups. Stick to the plan. Do this by the book. By the end of our time out here, she will finally see it was me all along. I was always the one she needed. Oh. Well, good morning, my love. I hope the restraints aren't too tight. Had to thread the line between keeping you contained and keeping you comfortable, but I think I managed all right this time around. I did not gag you out of courtesy. Don't make me regret that, princess. I'm going to take my hand away now. I trust you can remember how to conduct yourself properly. If not, you see that gorgeous bay window to your left? My father designed it, actually. Well, beneath those plush blankets and the hand-sewn cushions is a chest. And in that chest are 2 compartments. First is a tray with everything I need to keep you compliant. Various types of restraints, ranging from comfortable, like the silk rope, to heavy chains that will absolutely leave bruises and marks. And as much as I don't want to mark my girl, I will do whatever it takes to ensure your safety and mine. Well, beneath that tray is a custom cage built to house someone who needs to be reminded who's in control. Yes, actually, my father designed that compartment as well, and you can take it from someone who spent a great deal of time gagged and chained in the darkness of that cage that you want to behave. You want to be my good girl and stay here with me topside. Of course my father loved me. My father loves me. Just because you don't understand his parenting methods doesn't make him some sort of monster. I was a strong-willed little girl who didn't understand there was an order to things. That in life, there will always be someone you have to answer to. So I pushed back constantly and hard. He would lift me off the ground and slam me down, climbing on top of me and sitting in there until I would relent and stop fighting. He called it putting us down. It was his way of asserting dominance, I suppose, and he was not a small man by any stretch of the imagination. The man was built like a bulldog, with none of the softness. His hands were big enough he could palm my head like a basketball if he wanted to, but I didn't care. It didn't matter to me that he was 5 times my size, or that him sitting on top of me made it almost impossible to breathe. What do you mean? I don't know that I ever knew what would earn me time in the abyss. That was what we called the cage. Time in the abyss. It would force you to cave in upon yourself in ways that not even the strongest-willed little one could withstand. Eventually, the darkness, the isolation, the stale air, they all take a toll, and you begin to wonder what is real and what is your imagination on overdrive, just in an attempt to distract yourself from the nothingness. As far as what would earn you a putting down, that was easier to gauge. taking too long to answer my father in his eyes was a form of obstinacy. We were never allowed to say, "I don't know," in response to my father. He said that was our way of skirting the issue and finding a loophole. Either be direct or accept your punishment. I was a shy and anxious little thing. Far more than I am now, if you can believe it. You remember how long it took me to open up to you? To stop sitting in corners and praying my presence wouldn't upset anyone? That shy me you met was leaps and bounds above how I was as a child, and Father hated that. He wanted me to be seen but not heard, unless it was time for a lesson or an interrogation. But I couldn't turn off my anxiety, and crying was almost worse than backtalk. Well, because to him, my tears were me being manipulative. He called them crocodile tears and said I was putting them on to guilt him into relenting, which only made him angrier and upped the odds of me spending another few days in the abyss. But that's enough about my father. You focus on doing as you're told, so I don't have to let you discover firsthand what time in the abyss will do to your mind. No more screaming, and we treat one another with some semblance of mutual respect and understanding. And we can just stick with the items from the tray instead of a stay beneath. Is that understood? I brought you here so we could talk. So that you could understand what actually happened between Callie and I and what needs to happen between you and I. Those talks will go much faster if you're actually able to speak, don't you think? That's a good girl. Now, I'm going to let go and get back to making our supper. It's been a long day, and after all the adrenaline you've depleted, you'll be needing something hearty to refuel and warm you up in this cold. The cabin has central heat, yes, but nobody has been up here in a while, so I have to slowly reawaken the place. In the meantime, we have the heat of the fireplace and the gas stove running to keep us warm. My great-grandmother built this cabin, actually. Built it with her own 2 hands, all while raising 3 rowdy boys on her own. They lived out here in a makeshift tent, living off the land and what rodents they could catch after she left that shit-stained excuse for a man she called a husband. My great-grandfather was a monster. But my great-grandmother Rose did what she had to in order to protect herself and her boys. I get my strength from her, I think. My resolve and need to see justice upheld, I get from my grandfather, and from my parents, well, I don't know. I wanted their love, but they only knew how to show they cared via money, so at least I'm well funded. Yeah, I guess you're right. Not that I haven't heard it from a therapist or 2 in my time. I never really got the love I needed growing up. Made it difficult to express things the way I mean to when it comes to a partner. I'm always ready for them to reject me for coming on too strong, whatever that means. I don't understand it at all. Why would you not want to have someone be clear and upfront about their feelings, about their intentions? In a world of dating apps and flings and all that surface level shit, isn't it refreshing to see the lengths someone is willing to go to for you? To fight for you and rescue you from dangers you are too blinded by lust to see. She strung you along for almost a year. That was only in the time I knew both of you. Callie was never going to commit. I ran into her multiple times on dates when she had told you she was studying or cramping or whatever other lame excuse she would make. Just because you knew her doesn't mean you knew all of her. You knew one version of Callie, but I saw through it. I saw past the mask and the sweetness and the way she would use you, and you'd let her. Oh, but you did, princess. You let her use you just so you could stay in her good graces. So you could bask in her light and the scraps she would throw you from time to time. She wasn't good for you, and I wasn't going to keep watching as you fell deeper and deeper into her endless abyss. But that's enough Callie talk for one day, I think. Let's eat, and then I can help you get ready for bed. And before you get all antsy, I didn't put anything in your food. Not really my style, and it doesn't help our purposes. Cooked everything in the same pot, and you can even have your pick of the bowls if it makes you feel any better. Inconceivable. Nothing. It's nothing. It's just, there's this scene in The Princess Bride where they have a battle of wits to see which glass has been poisoned. It's an amazing movie, actually. I used to watch it with my older brother on repeat growing up. Had the whole thing memorized and everything. Anyway, nothing is poisoned or medicated. I'm not here to hurt you, after all. Just to give us an opportunity to get away from the hustle and bustle and the influence of others long enough for you to be able to see the truth of it all. Here. See? Not dosed with medication, no poison. Just regular old chili and some potato hash. Food to stick to your bones, which, based on how little you've been eating since Callie passed, you could use all the hearty meals I can whip up for us. I'll ignore that little side comment you made because no, I did not murder her. The one time I do things right and the bitch goes and gets herself killed after I let her go. Unfucking believable. Never mind what I said. Just eat your supper.